Hi, this is Shear coming to you from Jerusalem and a very wet and cold and rainy day. This is the fourth video now in a series answering what kind of products and what kind of creative content are we involved in doing. The first three videos were addressing more the kinds of content that I personally am involved in. And I was going to follow on with an issue related to shipping. I'm going to push that off to the next video and rather bring in something related a little bit to the weather and how that connects with some of the videos that my husband has on his channel and also some content on his blog. Mentioning the fact that today is a wet and rainy day, actually it was snowing much earlier. Snow in Jerusalem is quite an event, quite an amusing, quite an intriguing activity or event or experience. There are many words we can use to describe it, and there's a build-up that comes both in terms of the weather as it gets colder, then the sun comes out, then the clouds come over and it starts to rain and slowly progresses to snow. And there's question as to whether the snow is going to stick, whether it's going to be thick snow, lighter snow, what kind of snow are we going to be receiving. Aside from the weather changes, there's a whole build-up that takes place, a lot of talk that happens within those who are here in Israel. A lot of things come to a standstill as the snow happens. There are all sorts of activities, all sorts of things that are taking place when it snows here in Israel. And really, snow is not only is it beautiful, but it's as I say, quite a happening, quite an experience here in Israel. But it's a blessing that comes to us from God. The snowflakes themselves, each one, as is known, each one is individual, each one is unique. And from this we can learn out that every person is also unique and has their own needs, their own qualities, their own interests, their own beliefs. All the needs and everything about every human being is completely unique to that person. And no other person is going to be the same, just as no other snowflake is the same. Actually, this video also is not the same as what I had originally intended. Yesterday, my husband and I were talking about if we were to be blessed with snow, as talk was happening, that we would love to go out and take a little bit of a video of the snow and show the beauty of the snow, both on some of the trees, on the hills around, in various different areas, and be able to share a little bit about another aspect of being in Israel, not only teaching Torah, but showing a little bit of the beauty with the snow. And as it so happens, by this morning when we got up, a lot of the snow in the section where we are had already melted. And although there was snow, it's a very interesting thing, as Jerusalem is built on mountains. And so it depends on what level you are, whether you're higher up, wherever your home is, whether you're higher up in the mountains, whether you're more central in Jerusalem, as to how much snow you get, whether the snow, at what stage the snow melts, quantity of snow, the type of snow, it all makes a difference. And obviously, with all of these differences comes to the blessing. And the best way to know to appreciate and to understand the blessings, as I say, that the blessings come from Hashem, from God, from the creator of the universe. And the best way to understand those is from studying Torah. And in fact, the Torah has so much to share on this topic that there's a whole Masechet, a whole section of Gemara that's dedicated to blessings, to brachot is the word in Hebrew. If you have a look at my husband's YouTube channel, which I'll put a link in the show notes below, you'll find that he has a playlist that's dedicated to teaching Masechet Brachot, the section of the Gemara on brachot. He's working through there you can see behind me over here, you can see the Koren Talmud edition of the Rabbi Steinsaltz has done a really beautiful edition that has translation, it has commentary, and certain places there are images, there's information as to halacha, there's notes that help to put it in context. You can learn information about the rabbis of the Talmud who are speaking at the time in any specific discussion. And as it so happens, the Gemara of brachot covers all sorts of aspects related to rain. Of course, snow would be an added dimension to that. There are blessings to be said if there's thunder, there's blessings to be said if there's lightning, there's a blessing to be said if you see a rainbow. There are all sorts of blessings that we partake in and we receive and we're involved in. And the video that I was learning just recently, I was doing a little bit of art and listening to one of my husband's Shearim. Of course, I did hear it at the time that it was recorded, but I decided to go back and listen a little bit further. And this particular section reminded me of the story that's told about King Chizkiyahu at the time that he got ill, and a reminder of the fact that there was actually a book of remedies, a book of herbs that he hid away. And the reason as to why he hid it away was because it was bordering on becoming, to a certain extent, idolatry. Avodah zarah is the word used in the Gemara, because people were turning to the remedies as the source of how they would get their healing, instead of turning in prayer to Hashem, to the one who's behind that, the one who gives us those herbs, the one who gives the illness and who gives the remedy for the illness, and who can take away the illness at any time. He also reminds us of the importance of doing teshuvah, and how any situation we're in, if we do teshuvah and we return to God and the ways that He wants for us, that Hashem can and very often does make a complete change in a situation. We never know how long a certain problem is going to last for, or what the physical components of a remedy are going to be, but any Yeshua, any refuah, any salvation or any healing is coming from God, from the creator of the universe, from the creator of everything. And the best way to be learning and understanding what we could be doing, both in terms of our prayer, the times for prayer, how to pray, when to pray, what to pray, everything related to that, everything related to seasons, everything related to any of the blessings in our lives, is learning from this Masechet Brachot. The particular playlist, as you'll see, we have not managed as yet to complete going through the full section of Brachot at the moment. We would dearly love to do so. We are in need of some more supporters to be able to do so. It's a time process. Just to give a little bit of insight, my husband will read through, will learn and prepare every section that he's going to be teaching. So there's time involved, there's videoing involved, there's editing involved. We are looking to improve our equipment, as I mentioned in the first video related to the videos that I'm doing. My husband is also needing the same kind of equipment, both software for editing the videos and also to have a better video camera so that we can be able to do these videos much more effectively and much more professionally. We'd love to be able to get a green screen, and there are a number of other things that we need to be able to continue and progress with the videos. So with that little bit of insight, I invite you to have a look at this playlist. Learn what you'd like to follow along. If you have any questions, do put a question at the bottom of any of the videos. My husband is very good at replying to each and every person who does comment or who asks a question. Become a member on our main website, which is lovingkindness.co, and I'll put a link to that as well in the notes below. At the end of this video, if you watch right to the end, you'll see a link to the playlist of the Gemara of Brachos. And if you browse my husband's YouTube channel, you will find also some other aspects of Torah that he teaches. There's quite a range. He was starting to teach Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, which is obviously going through the halacha of what we need to be doing on a day-to-day basis. We'd love to get to complete that as well. I think there's only one video on that particular topic at the moment. We have also videos of Tanya, of Mesilat Yesharim. Those are the videos that come to mind at the moment. I have to have a look and remind myself as to what other videos, what other topics my husband's been teaching on. But as you can see, it's not only me that's involved in sharing and creating content. My husband is also involved in creating content, and of course to teach personally. So if you're wanting to go through any of this material on a one-to-one or in a small group, do be in touch. He teaches via Zoom. It's a very user-friendly means of teaching. We have people learning with him from all different areas of the world. At the moment, predominantly England, America, and South Africa, but we're open to learning in other areas as well, obviously in English and in Hebrew. If you're wanting to improve your skills reading and translating, that's one option, or going more in depth into any of these topics. In addition, my husband also is teaching, I think he's going through Shulchan Aruch in depth, Mishnah Brura he's been going through, he teaches Sofrut, he teaches Chatanim. There's a whole range as to what he teaches, and if you want to know more of what he teaches, check out, as I say, his website, lovingkindness.co. Sign up for a Shear, sign up to be a member, and I'll put also a link to his Patreon page. One other thing that he has available is his book, which is summaries of the Parshah, and it's very beautifully done. It gives short summaries of the most important topics or the most important theme related to each aliyah of every Parshah. So there are 7 aliyot for each Parshah, and he goes through with a summary for each of those. It's all done in English. Every little while there's a little bit, a snippet and a taster from Rashi. One of the things that I really love about these Parsha summaries is it's in a 6:9 size. You'll see the image of the cover coming on the screen. It's 6:9 in size, so it's easy to be able to carry with you. If you're going to shul, obviously, if you don't have an Eruv, you'd have to have it in your shul. If you want to be sponsoring some of these books for your shul, do be in touch or buy them from Amazon. I can put a link in the show notes below as well to the link to that book on Amazon. It's wonderful to be going through these in between an aliyah to the Torah, when somebody is called up to the Torah. Instead of talking, instead of chit-chat, concentrate on what it is, the topic at hand. The advantage of that is that anybody else in the shul can hear the brachot being said by whoever the next person is that's being called up to the Torah. You can be able to have a reminder or a refresher, or a little bit of a snippet as to what the Parsha is that's just been read, or you can prepare for the aliyah that's about to be happening. Both are options. It's a beautiful opportunity for a gift to give to somebody who's bar mitzvah. It's a wonderful gift for somebody who's coming closer to Torah, chozeh b'tshuva, and they're wanting to get a good overview of the history, the story as it happens through the Chumash, in order to ease your learning. And again, if you're wanting to improve your Hebrew skills or to be able to learn Tanakh, we could go through Tanakh with you, or Chumash itself. So there are many benefits to purchasing a copy of this book. I highly recommend it. I love going through it. My mother also goes through it on a weekly basis. I know of other people as well who go through it in preparing for Shabbat, going through the Parshah. And it's also really nice for anybody who has either concentration difficulty or memory difficulty, or they have a little bit of difficulty finding enough time in their busy schedule to be able to learn the whole Parsha. The other thing that it's really good for is anybody who has any endurance difficulty. So it might be difficult for you to read the full Parsha for the week, but go ahead and start learning the summary. It gives you a good insight, a good understanding as to what the stories are about, and you can then be able to go through the Chumash perhaps more slowly, little snippets at a time, according to your pace, according to your level and your endurance. That's a wonderful way to do so. And of course, the more you involve yourself in Torah learning and in prayer and so on, there's no reason as to why Hashem can't improve your endurance and enable you to be able to either find a little bit more time. It gives you the motivation, the interest to find that little bit more time, or to be able to have the blessing from Hashem. Again, coming back to blessings, have the blessing from Hashem that you could be able to learn, to concentrate and to put in a little bit more learning, perhaps to do a Shear, perhaps to sign up for one of the many Shiurim to do with the Parshah. All of these are ideas as to more of what's involved and what we need to be doing in order to receive blessings from Hashem. And coming back again to the thought from King Chizkiyahu, who hid away this book of remedies, is that we're now in a time span, again, I bring it up again and again in my few videos I've been doing in the last 2 years since COVID began, but we're currently going through a plague. And so one of the advantages for anybody who happens to be at home and is frustrated about being at home, we invite you again, come and take a look, check out our YouTube channels. My husband's YouTube channel is full of all sorts of inspiring videos, thought-provoking, food for thought, and all of this helps to bring healing, helps to bring light into the world. And of course, to a reminder to spend that a little bit more time, do an extra Tehillim, do a Shmona Esrei, sign up to learn about the halachot, the laws related to prayer and to davening, or what else you could do, or perhaps sign up for a virtual Tehillim group. There are all sorts of ways that you can get involved and increase what it is that you can do to bring more light and to bring more blessing into the world. With that, I give you a blessing of refuah shalema to everybody who's in need of refuah, and maybe we strengthen ourselves and unite and be worthy of having a complete healing from all of this that we're going through right now. So may that blessing that's come through from the snow, I put through a little bit of a couple of images of snow. They're not from this year, from other years that we've experienced some snow here in Israel. And I hope you've enjoyed them and that you've enjoyed this shiur. If you have enjoyed this little video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and put a comment in the comments below. If you have a request for another video, I'd be happy to hear what your questions are or what your suggestions are. And I'm planning in the next video to tackle that topic of shipping. I have my own little challenges as to what to say about it, but the shipping is an issue, and it's had a couple of drawbacks in developing my online store. So I will be coming to share about the shipping and how that connects back to my Patreon page. And with that, that's another idea as to some of the content that we're involved in, that we create and we enjoy to share. And I'll see you in another video. Ciao for now.